Welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. And again, welcome to Novice Painting with the Novice Painter, Jimmy Novice. I am Jimmy Novice, the Novice Painter. It's a very special episode, very first episode of an ongoing series where we will show the ability to create works of art without very little skill, little to no skill, little to no experience, which is the definition of novice. You may be wondering certain things like why I'm wearing sunglasses, like who's this guy? Do you think he is wearing sunglasses indoors or sunglasses at night guy? No. Well, as a kid I stared too hard and too long into the, well, I don't know how you'd stare too hard, but I stared too long into the sun, and well, it made me a little colorblind, which may affect certain aspects of paintings going forward, but that's okay. Again, this is novice painting. And then once this is done, this is gonna be the first painting, obviously. Most of it's done. Just want to, give you an idea of where we're gonna go next. We're gonna embellish these a little bit more. As you can see, there's some details where we can give some outline, make a little bit special. You have to kind of embellish a little bit, do a little bit of interesting, different things, outlaw techniques, if you will, I guess. Kind of an outlaw in the art world. A new age outlaw, if you will. I wouldn't, but some people would maybe. I'm going to put a paintbrush here, an easel here, and the sign Jimmy Novice, and that will finish it. And that will go up and replace this painting, which is actually the theme of the show. Essentially, going forward, I like to say going forward because we're always going forward. Happiness never decreases from being shared. Buddha said that. I like to say, like Buddha, baby. Or like butter, like peanut butter. Here, introducing you to the mascot of the show. She's going to be giving me motivation silently and critiquing silently the works being done, which will be primarily abstract. It's going to be representations of logos, patterns. There's always going to be a story involved, so don't worry. It's going to be an interesting trip. It's going to be an interesting ride. Of course, the Santa hat, I feel, Christmas brings some of the biggest, most joy out of people, and that's what painting does for me. I suck at it, but it doesn't matter. Anybody can paint, just like the zoo animals down at the zoo. $50,000 paintings being sold by marmots or elephants, primarily Little Lightfoot down at the zoo. Sold. It was like a Jackson Pollock. 50 grand, at least, at an auction for animal paintings. I'm telling you, you can paint too. We're going to do that today. In a minute, I'm going to show you what paints we'll be using. Again, this is bare bones. Mistakes are going to happen, just like in the painting, just like in life. We're not going to rewind it. We're going to keep going forward. That's another key. Going forward, happiness, never lost when shared. This is bare bones. This is like 2007 YouTube. We got some bare bones lighting, we got some bare bones sound, which will improve, believe me. I was going to call it bare bones painting, but I figured people were going to make fun of, maybe say bare boner painting. We don't want that. No negativity here. Even the mistakes are all good. You can paint over them. So, we'll get started shortly. Welcome back. Jimmy Novice here. Didn't see that coming, did you? A little bit of magic along with the art today. So we're going to finally get into the painting now. I'm going to show you a number of the colors we're going to be using. First, of course, we're going to be using a little bit of purple. These are things you get from Walmart. This is perfect. It's a haven for novice painters. You can get basically everything you need: an easel, some canvas, paint brushes. The easel, this is a unique one. It allows for some mixing. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put some of these colors that we're going to use up here, right here. We're also going to have some white to go along with them to kind of mix in there to do some darker or some lighten up, like a lighter red through here, a lighter blue, a lighter purple, etc. Kind of what we started over here with the G, and then we're going to do that. We went a little different with the orange here, a little darker there, so we're going to do a darker green on here, So to start, we'll just go ahead and drop. Now the sound is better a little bit here. AC's off. Gonna get warm in here. Oh, look at this white. Look at that drop off. Hey, look at that. That's nice, huh? It's nice. A little stringy. Very viscous. You can change the consistency of the acrylics with water. You can make them drippy. You can make a drippy effect, But so for right now, obviously this is going to be like way more purple than we needed. But we'll just take some of this white. You're going to put that in there. You just kind of go into the corner. It doesn't have to be mixed perfectly. Again, novice. Doesn't give you an excuse to be lazy. You might as well just take more. Now, the thing about acrylics, when you want to do layers, you're not necessarily always going to get a full coat. So, you've got to let it dry. I got the ceiling fan going. That helps, but you can see getting a little bit lighter there. It's kind of a lavender. Now you may hear my voice change a little. There you go, right there. It's popping in. It's popping in there. When I was a child, so I'm seeing the speech therapist because when I was a child, they said I had joked around too much with this voice, and that it kind of just stuck with me. It's like, I don't know if you ever heard Gary Oldman, but famous English actor, he had the same problem. Did too many voices in an American accent. He lost his English accent, and well, he went to a speech therapist to get it back. I mean, who would want that old accent back anyway? But here we go. We're gonna get the first stroke of the series here. There we go. And that's nice. This is a stiff brush. Now we don't want to go too far to the edge because we want to keep that line. I'm gonna keep that line there. Yeah, and I'm not worried too much about coverage here because we want it to look a little, we want it to have a rustic feel, It's like one of those log cabins you used to go to in the summer. It was dank. It's kind of nasty. The toilet stank. Probably in our house usually, but you didn't care because you were with family. You were having fun. So we're gonna set this one aside. Now again, this may pop in and out, so just bear with me. We're gonna get on to. Now we're gonna use kind of a similar brush. This one's softer. We're gonna use a lot less paint here. Now we're going to just take, your basic blue. It's called bright blue. So, Mr. Bright Blue. Ladies love this color. Now, it does look a little bit lighter already, but we're going to put a little bit. It's going to be easier. Just going to do a straight mix. We actually do over here. I do have a little mixer trowel here. This could be used for mixing. It could be used for a more advanced techniques, which we have no clue how to do. So there we go. See, it's getting to where we want. Again, doesn't have to necessarily mix perfectly, but it's definitely lighter. So we're going to go with that. And that's about the perfect amount. Again, we don't need a lot of coverage. My God, I wish I just feel like I got extra moisture. Like I got 8 saliva glands in there, It's a shame. I mean, it's getting there. Now, it's tricky to have a steady hand sometimes. But again, there's no mistake. Go straight through, see? Could have kept going. I got scared there at the end. See? But still, it works. It's looking good. I like the way it looks. I'm happy so far. You should be too.
hopefully this will go as smooth as a baby's bottom. Maybe we shouldn't say that on YouTube, but it's a saying. And we got candy apple, multi-surface, satin. Who doesn't like some satin? Satin, baby, satin. Again, we're going to do what we did with the brew. Just going to mix that. We got a different little trowel. I do have paper towels back there, so we're going to lighten this up. We don't want to get too pink. It's going to be more, I don't even know what you'd call it, really. I mean, maybe we need a little more red. We don't really want it to look too much like that G color. I don't think there will be a problem because that red's so dark it should just show through. Kind of hard to tell what color that is. I have no clue. But we're going to use kind of a similar brush over here. It's actually a little different, a little longer. This is, but again, Novice. See, I'm going to just get some coverage on there. I just do a little dabby dab. You internet kids know about them dabby dabs. Alright, so again, this is probably not the best brush. We're going to have to do a couple. But we're going to drag it out anyway because we want more, a little more of that red to show underneath. So we'll just pull it down. There we go. That's kind of good. Me likey. Me likey Mikey. Not that Mike. I wanna be like a man. Anyway, but this is pretty good. It's going good so far. It's got actually kind of interesting look here. Good. More red showing than gosh. God dagnabbit. So there we go. I mean, maybe it gives it an interesting look. I'll probably give it a little bit more through here. Just a little bit. I'll pull it up too. Kind of spread it around. There we go. Yeah, see? A mistake, but it's okay. Yeah, that seems perfect. Just like life. I mean, Mr. Perfect wasn't even perfect. I remember when he said something wrong in an interview. I mean, I wish I could think of what it was, because sure was funny. Let's see, now we're going to put darker. We're going to go darker with the P. Now, that doesn't sound healthy, but you don't really want to have darker P. This is grass green, one of my favorite greens, if you know what I mean. And we're going to go ahead and use, it's another tiny brush. We should probably use a bigger brush, which is what I'm going to look for here real quick. Now the problem, where I made the mistake where I did not have soapy warm water to go ahead and use the same brushes. I have paper towels over here, but you know, this is some feisty paint here. It's a little darker than maybe I was thinking, but again, coverage. We could pull it down, spread it out. Spread them, Dano. Or that wasn't it. See, oh, mistake, but it's okay. Pull it up. It's interesting. You could actually just keep it at the top, and you could maybe give it a different sort of dimension here. Maybe like a drop shadow, or whatever a drop shadow is. I've heard that term before. Many of you out there may know what a drop shadow is. Some people may think of a shadow person. That's scary. Don't think of that. It's like that mistake was kind of scary, but See, it's okay. You keep some down there. I mean, we want this to look fun, you know. It's not. I mean, it wants to look interesting. You know, it's not perfect. It's not about perfection. Art is not about perfection. There we go. See that? Gives us some interesting texture, layer. I like it. It goes off, you know. It's just painting. It's painting. It's messy. Things get messy. Just like life. Things get messy. So now we're going to get a little bit of the... This is a clover field. So it's essentially supposed to be a clover color. So we're going to put some of that. It's a nice vibrant green. And we're going to lighten it up, of course, with... Of course, we can just dip some of this white in there. Since we were using the blue, it's not going to work. We do have another one where we're using the dark green, so that's not a bad thing. We'll take that white and we'll mix it in there. We'll just do a big mix job. That white can go for everything. It can work with everything. It goes a long way. So you're going to lighten it up a little bit more. Now, sometimes one thing I do know is sometimes when you mix with the brush, you can get some air bubbles in there. But again, we don't really care. We don't really care. See, almost good thing that was dry. So, we got a nice glob on there. Because, you know, again, we're not worried. Let's just do it. Just do it, man. There we go. That's nice. It's like opposite of the P. OPP, opposite of the P, OFP, I guess. In other words. It's not the greatest looking N in the first place. You might be thinking. Kind of funky. But that's, again, we kind of want a funky aspect to this. There we go. And we got that darker green peeking through. So everything's looking interesting. That's the point. It doesn't have to be amazing, perfect, be interesting. Just be interesting, man. Yeah, just be interesting, man. There we go. I'm telling you, man, this is gonna go away. I'm telling you, I'm confident. So we're gonna get crazy here because we don't really know where this one is gonna go, but we're gonna get a little bit more blue. We want to get. Actually, I almost made a mistake. See, this is a different blue. This is like they call it. I think it's Atlantis blue. Atlantis blue. That should be the one. So, because there's also, we have a primary blue, but that could have, yes, there we go. We're going to mix primary blue with Atlantis blue with a little bit of white. So we'll just basically, don't get scared, we got peanut butter. So we're just going to do a little bit of that Atlantis. Put that in the old pocket. Do some primary, just a drop. Oh man, that's like, it's drizzly in here. It's like that drizzle we had last week. Rain, man, it's everywhere. Alright, so again, you're just getting crazy. I'm just gonna get crazy. You wanna get crazy with me, I say? Yes, I do. Come on. Let's do this. So now we don't really want to get darker with this one. We want to kind of go lighter. So if you look at that, there we go. Man, finally. All right. Now don't be mad if that comes back. I mean, I'm getting way too into mixing this. It's just,
sometimes hypnotic. It reminds me of that popular teal from the 90s. Here we go. Now, let's be brave. Well, it's a little too globular. This is one of those thicker brushes, so now watch this. This is, oh, there we go. See, you do start again. I got a little nervous, but that's what brings flair and interestingness to it. Okay, so I just went for it there. There we go. That's what we like to see. You just go for it. You just go for it. You think, calculate, you come into it, and you do it. So now that we got this finished, we are going to move on to another brush, and we're going to use some brown. Chocolate brown. I like to call it. Well, this one's just brown, apparently. And it's brand new, so we're going to go for one that tea's being open. This is chocolate sprinkle. Uh-oh. No, accents don't pop in. It's strictly the lispy. Oh, shaw, man, that's back. Dang it. I never thought about it. If you just don't think about it, that's what the therapist said. Just don't think about it. Don't get in a jokey mood. But see, when I do painting, it's kind of, I get in a jokey mood. It's jokey. All right, see, we're gonna go crazy because we don't. I mean, God, what do we know about color theory? Nothing. What in the world? Shake that up. Shake weight. Uh-oh. Good thing it dried. We got paint dripping down. Look at that. Alright. So we're going to take another brush. This can help with kind of an outline type thing. So see, alright, look at this. What's going to happen here? So we took brown and white and yellow. I kind of like that. Very viscous. Alright, so now this is where we're going to do the paintbrush. This could be tricky. So we want kind of a dark woodsy color. We're just going to do like there we go. Like an outline, kind of try to outline. Again, it don't have to be perfect. You know, it's, you know what we dream. It's not perfect. You know, it's not perfect lines. Nature. I know what you're thinking that looks like so far, but I'm telling you. Get your mind out of the pooper. Alright. See, we just gotta make it straighter and it'll look less, well, you know, feces-like. Alright, so this is dry, so we can put our hand against it. It would have been easier, see, now this is what we're gonna try. Maybe a little too late for this, but we're going to take a bigger brush. So maybe that's a little too big, see? So we're just going to have to. Now, this isn't the one that was ideal in my mind, but we're going to go for it. Ready, go. There we go, see? There we go. Now, a little globular up here, so we'll try to spread that out. There, oh, I lost it. Cool, back to normal. All right. So we're gonna try to get a little more brown with white and yellow. There we go. Look at that. Oh! 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 Amazing. It's amazing. I love it. Uh-oh. Wait. It's a little bit drippy. There we go. Alright, you gotta be careful. Especially if it's not laying down. Gotta be careful when they're not laying down. Alright, now that's looking kind of ugly. I'm gonna redo that. Green one. We're gonna have to use a different brush. Running out brushes, man. Should have cleaned them, but alright, so we're gonna put a little bit more dark on here. It's not exactly the way I would have. A little too much. A little too much peeking out there. That's why it's good to have a draft. I mean, if you're not worried about perfect layers, but you want some better coverage quickly, it doesn't hurt to have a draft. You know, maybe in the fall, you know, you can have the windows open, or the patio, or man, summer, man, when I got the AC off, I'm flannel shirt. I don't know why I'm wearing a flannel shirt, man. I mean, I know why I'm wearing the Santa hat. We all know that. So, there's that. Alright, so we at least got these. We got the paintbrush handle part. So, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back to finish the paintbrush. We're going to do painter, the easel, and you know, fun embellishment. You know, ties into painting, right? Painting, easel, paintbrush, and then my signature, Jimmy Novice.